Good morning, church family. Today, in our readings through the Gospel of Luke, we'll be in Luke chapter 19, starting in verse 1. It reads, Jesus entered Jericho and was passing through. A man was there by the name of Zacchaeus. He was a chief tax collector and was wealthy. He wanted to see who Jesus was, but because he was short, he could not see over the crowd. So he ran ahead and he climbed a sycamore fig tree to see him, since Jesus was coming that way. When Jesus reached the spot, he looked up and said to him, Zacchaeus, come down immediately. I must stay at your house today. So he came down at once and welcomed him gladly. All the people saw this and began to mutter, he has gone to be the guest of a sinner. But Zacchaeus stood up and said to the Lord, look, Lord, here and now I give half of my possessions to the poor. And if I have cheated anybody out of anything, I will pay back 4 times the amount. And Jesus said to him, today salvation has come to this house, because this man too was a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man came to seek and to save the lost. There's a few things I love about this story that just really stick out to me. The first one is Zacchaeus' desire to see Jesus. You know, I think about my life and as a boy loving to climb trees. There's just something about getting a little bit higher and being able to see beyond what the limitations of your present perspective are able to be. That you would get up a little bit higher and you could see above the crowds. I'm reminded of that in my own situation in life, is that so often, because of the fact that I'm limited and finite, my view is obstructed by my circumstances and situation. And if only I had the will and the desire and the ability to get up a little bit higher, I might be able to see that just above the horizon, just on the other side of my current circumstances, I could see what was happening. I could have hope what was yet to come. I wonder how that would impact our life and impact how we view and especially how we relate to God if we were to be able to see and get above that. You know, Scripture speaks a lot about that our eyes are to be not focused on down below, but they're to shift up towards the Lord. Because the reality of our present circumstances, and we place our faith and our hope and our trust in God, we know what is next. We know what's on the other side of the horizon. It is our God. So we shift our eyes upward and we look and we focus on Him. We can see that He is the one who is doing and able to do more than we could ever hope for or imagine. The other thing that sticks out to me in this passage is when it speaks about Zacchaeus, and Zacchaeus is he's muttering, right? The people are muttering about the fact that Jesus tells Zacchaeus that he's going to come to his house, that he's eating with sinners. And Zacchaeus responds by saying, today, Lord, I give half of what I have, all of what I have, to meet the needs of those around me. And Jesus says, today salvation has come to this house. You know, I'm reminded of that. It kind of challenges sometimes my conventional view of salvation, because I believe salvation is oftentimes based upon a decision for Jesus that comes, Lord, I'm a sinner and I'm sorry. But Jesus speaks before Zacchaeus makes a statement like that. Jesus sees that the transformation of salvation has already come to his heart. You know, salvation really is far more than just about saying the right things. Salvation is recognizing the ways in which your life doesn't align with God and saying, I'm choosing God over my circumstances. I'm choosing God over my stuff. I'm choosing God over my own provision. I'm choosing God over everything else. Zacchaeus does that. And Jesus responds by saying, salvation has come to this house today. For the Son of Man has come to seek and to save the lost. And I wonder how many of us as Christians have settled for a far less worthy version of salvation, where we continue to live our lives just as we always had, but holding on to this fire assurance that one point in time we said yes to Jesus. If our life hasn't changed, then what good is our salvation? If our life hasn't changed, then what bearing does our belief have in how we shall live? I wonder about you and I today. Are we living our lives in accordance with the salvation we've accepted? Or are we living our lives still bound to the sin that Jesus died for? I want to encourage you to maybe comment in the section below. Maybe, hey, I'm still struggling with the sin, or I'm trying to live in the salvation, because I want to pray with you. I want to pray for true salvation to overtake your life. And I want to pray that you steadfastly hold firm to the transformation that God has done upon your hearts. I look forward to continuing on our book of Luke with you tomorrow as we continue in our readings.